What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I just wanted to go into tonight's game, the football game. We had a good night. We covered. That's what's always nice about taking spreads. And I found out something incredibly interesting about midway through the game. It's another reason I made the Discord. So this is in the symbolism / rabbit hole session for the people that think we're crazy. But it was just an observation I had made that Tom Brady's tied with Manning for all-time fourth quarter comebacks. At the time, I believe the score was 13-3 or something. And then it was 16-3, and I noticed this, and I said, how fitting if Brady fit past Manning against his father's team. And what's interesting is if you DVR these games, you can watch it back and see how it's literally scripted. It's not rigged, okay? I'm going to change the name because these people saying it's rigged don't understand. It's scripted. So they scripted it so the Saints could have about injury. Yeah, I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Blue Pyro. We've predicted a lot of injuries, so not to be braggadocious, but we have. So in my opinion, so we got the Saints cover, which was nice. I did think they'd win, but midway through the game, like I said, at a score of 16-3, my mind went to, well, if the Bucs come back, we got the cover anyway, and the Bucs were getting really good live money lines, which is why I put this in here. So a lot of people, that's why I put a lot of the live alpha in the Discord, just so if people are kind of on the fence somewhere or thinking a certain way, and I'm not the only one who puts it in there, but it really helps. So it was just something I did put a little bit on the money line when I noticed that because I thought there was a good chance they were going to do the comeback, because I noticed the comeback would be enough for them to win but not cover, which is going to clip the public, because most of the public just took the Bucs -3 or bought it down to 2. So it is very interesting to me that he now passed, again, Manning, while Manning's calling the game against Manning's dad's team, and Brady is now the all-time comeback quarterback in the fourth quarter. And you could see Pies in there, 314. They love to get that in there. It was 44. He has 44 comebacks now in the fourth quarter. And after the game, I don't listen to a lot of this stuff, but I did catch the reporter say to him, it was interesting earlier in the game it was 4th and 4 and you wanted to go for it and you didn't. So they get the numbers in there. So it's all the gematria people. I do fade gematria a lot, but it's not because I don't have respect for it. It's just because I think it really has to line up like it did tonight. It lined up. It wasn't just the gematria, but it was also once we saw kind of how the game was setting up, and then the Saints on 3rd and 1 pass it instead of running it, and they don't go for it. Once we start seeing that kind of stuff, to me, then it's a little more apparent, and we can make assessments that, okay, Brady's getting his comeback. But it's nice. Like I said, we got the cover. I was able to sprinkle some on the money line when I saw that and noticed it. Yeah, Mr. McNasty, this is going to be one that a lot of people are going to, I think, appreciate the video and just because they're going to be looking up what the heck happened. How come this team cannot move the ball all game, but then in the final 2 minutes, Brady can do anything? People just, and then people try and explain it away. Oh, well, the Saints are playing more conservative. There's no answer for it, really. But that's what happened. They wanted Brady to look really good, and they don't even hide the fact that he just sucks outside of the final 2 minutes. So we did good on that one, which is nice. We did good on basketball. I'm going to go into basketball, but this one I wanted to go into on its own because the symbolism is just all over this game. Obviously, the 6-6, which a lot of people were bringing up to me before the game. And like I said, how Vegas just clipped people, so, the Bucs won, but they didn't cover. And because when you get 2-3 points, so many people want value, but so they're just going to take -2.5. They're going to buy a point, thinking it's not going to be a 1-point win. That's why I'll always take the points. Really anything that's not just exactly 1 point I'll take usually. I'll take 1.5 up just because it's always worth it. But so we did good as far as that. We've actually won our last 7 football picks in a row because we hit every 4 o'clock game. We hit two of the night game last night, and we almost bet the under on tonight's game. So we almost hit our last 8 football in a row. I think we really have a good gauge on these divisions, specifically the AFC and NFC East and the NFC South. I have a bad read on the AFC South and the AFC West. Admittedly, no problem. But on those other divisions I just mentioned, I think we have a pretty good read on, as well as the NFC North. I think we have a good read on. The AFC North. The NFC North I haven't done good with. But yeah, so I try and focus on divisions that we seem to have a read over the target. I thought they'd keep the Saints in it longer, but I guess they're going to make it a two-way race with the Falcons and Bucs. And like I said, when I did notice the tie between him and Manning, it only made sense for him to pass Peyton against his daddy's team. So I think it's only a matter of time before people really start noticing how rigged it is. Even Peyton was having a hard time calling this game just because I think he saw how nonsensical it was. At the end of the game, the Saints were not calling timeouts. And here's another little thing. So, like, the ball's back at, like, the 45-yard line. And even though we knew Brady was going to score because it was just, like, set up that way, Manning, all these other people shouldn't have known. And Manning's like, oh, the Saints should be calling timeouts because Brady's going to score and they want to leave time, which is a good way of thinking. But, again, outside of the one drive before, Brady was showing absolutely no promise to score. It wasn't like Manning started saying this when Brady was in the red zone. He still had a way to go. Sure enough, Brady kept getting those, vintage underpasses, shallow routes for 5 to 7 yards that turned into 15. That with, the occasional 5 to 10 yard run, and Brady's now inside the red zone. And then Manning's really bringing it up. And it was stupid. At that point, the Saints could have called their timeouts and left themselves a minute to score. But it just shows they wanted to end it on a Brady touchdown. And if they wanted to end it on, something with the Saints, they would have. But they wanted to end it on a Brady touchdown, not on he scores and then the Saints have a minute. They wanted that last minute to be that Brady passing Manning touchdown. So, and Manning's calling it. So maybe they're punishing Manning, or maybe he's part of it. You never know. But the whole thing's very interesting. So I'm going to go more. If you want me to do a whole deep dive on the Mannings and Brady's, I will. But, I have all the picks and stuff, and covering all that just takes so much time. But I wanted to do a good old-fashioned narrative, and to me, this game had so much symbolism and narratives, and it was one where we were able to catch catch the cover, but also see especially halfway through, about that third quarter, I really started feeling that passing Art Manning against Archie's team. You could start seeing it in live time, especially when you have the Mannings and I think it was Buck and Aikman on the other side calling it, whoever it was, because the announcers just give away everything, especially Peyton. He could be pretty obvious. So yeah, this is a very good game, and for anyone that's kind of skeptical, that thinks this might be real, I just advise you to find a way to watch this whole game back and tell me it was not scripted. Tell me that these were the same teams, the first 56 minutes and the final 4. So the whole thing's interesting. But yeah, I thought you guys would enjoy this, and we had a good day overall. I'll be going into a video recapping basketball and just all of our picks and picks to come. But I wanted to keep this one specifically dedicated to just the absurdity of tonight's theatrics. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.